You know, rig it, got it connected to my phone, and we're getting ready to take off. Now, first of all, good morning, everybody. Let me go over here to the comments. Good morning. You see what my wall say? Blessed. Got to keep that going. So there were quite a few things that were going on this week. And I know you guys haven't seen me in a while, and I kind of jumped in the comments over in Kwame's live, and people were like, "Hey sis, where you been? Why don't you go ahead and do a live for us?" And I kind of get like really emotionally like tied to stuff because for me, looking at a lot of this stuff that we're dealing with in government and politics, I understand that it is really is spiritual, and a lot of people don't get it. And I don't know if that's a blessing, or a curse, or both at the same time. Because a lot of times, when I'm looking at things and I'm seeing things as they play out, I'm not necessarily just, looking in a physical perspective, right? I'm also seeing it spiritually. And so, people can say what they want, but we all know that each person is made up of three components, right? The mind, the body, and the soul, or the mind, the body, and the spirit, whichever one you want to refer it to. Okay. Those are the three connections right there. So each body has, right, a spirit. And if you watch my last live where I was talking about spirits and how you can recognize them, and, you recognize, a tree by its fruit, right? We kind of discussed that. If you missed that, you might want to go back and check out some of my lives. So the first thing that we want to get into is, well, let me finish this off before I get into that. That protest, right, at the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., it was like really, really, really not only a physical battle, but it was a real spiritual battle, because I'm like, we really battling over life and death. Regardless of how anybody want to look at it, and y'all don't have to agree with me, because I got good sense and I know what's factually true, right? This ain't got nothing to do with no feelings. This has to do with all facts. And so what I know to be factually true is that this is really life or death. And I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, I would want to live. If I was one of those babies and it was my life, like regardless of what done went down, regardless of what done happened between me, my mama, how much I struggled, whatever, I would want to live. So I'm looking at from the perspective of the life that has been created. Other people are looking at the woman and her right, but I'm like, what about the life of that person, that individual that did not ask to be created? People don't want to look at it like that, right? And like I said on Kwame's channel, if people were watching, that abortion is a form of oppression, not to Black women because it's racist, but because people that have been given the right to life are denying another person's right to life. Everyone that advocates for abortion ain't never been aborted. Ain't never been aborted. It ain't like there's somebody that's saying, hey, I was aborted, we should abort other babies. Like, ain't nobody that's advocating, right, for abortion have ever been aborted. They have all been given everybody right here, right now, have all been given the right to life. And I don't think that it's fair, you know what I'm saying, that other people that have been given that same right to life to make either the best or the worst of the lives that they've been given, to each his own. I just don't feel as though people should have a right. That's like issuing a death penalty on the innocent. That's just where I'm at with it. So anyway, after all that, I get a call from my boy Maurice. Maurice called me. He say, Ange, he say, listen, I need you to go on Black News Channel for me. They have some women there that are pro-choice. I know how strong you are, even though I don't agree with everything you say. I always get hit with that one. I know that you're a strong voice for pro-life, so I want you to go on Black News Channel. So, You all saw the interview from Black News Channel that I did with the first young lady. If you haven't, it's up on my Instagram page. We may go back and reflect on that. I think I put it up on the YouTube page. You already know I'm coming through, right? Just with the facts and everything. So then they contact me and say, Charles Blow, right, wants you to come on. They want to talk about your stance, on pro-life. Now, me, I'm not afraid to go in the ring with anyone when it comes to my beliefs, what I stand on, what I fight for, what I've researched, what I know to be factually true, what I've lived, what I've experienced. Like, I'm going in, right? And unafraid, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. We'll go on the show. So let me show you guys what happened when I went on the show. Now, of course, they've already tweeted their narrative. I was recording with my phone. My battery went dead, I think 6 minutes into the interview. But let me go on here and show you what they put out on Twitter to get you all caught up. And then we're going to come back. Let me go in here and find it. Here we go. See what this guy here talking about. Now, which one? Let's play the first one, so we'll do it in order. So this tweet here says, the topic of abortion is a touchy subject for both sides, those against it and those for it. Listen to this discussion Charles and Blow has with author Angela Stanton King, who claims abortion are happening in Georgia in the 8th month of pregnancy. Let's watch this.
And a mother that's giving birth to 5 children, I'm intelligent enough to know that it is not my body. Me and my children do not share the same body. Neither do me and my mother share the same body. And now we see that these abortion laws have gotten very extreme, even aborting a baby up until the moment of birth. So this is a form of Black genocide. There's a reason why we're still only 13%.
I'm sorry. There's nobody aborting babies up until the moment of birth. What do you mean?
Yes, they are. You want to research?
9 months?
Yes, they. Yeah, I think you should do.
Tell me which.
I think you should do your research. I think you should do your research. Yes, they are.
No, ma'am. We're not. I'm sorry. I'm going to speak right now.
Personally that had an abortion up until 8 months.
We're not doing that. I want you to tell me which abortion clinic. I'm sorry, you're not going to speak over me. This is not your show. This is my show. I'm going to ask this question. You feel free to answer it if you choose to. Which abortion clinic in which state performed an abortion for a woman in the 9th month of her pregnancy?
Well, first of all, I know someone personally in Georgia that got an abortion in the 8th month. Not only that, less than 30 days ago, every Democrat except one voted to legally abort a baby up until the moment of birth in all 50 states. So you might want to do your research on that. It is happening. And no one that's ever had an abortion has ever walked out of the abortion clinic and asked for their baby's
remains. Are you talking about cases where the mother's life is in jeopardy, which is a whole different story? I'm not talking about cases where the mother's life is in jeopardy. We're talking about a case where the mother's life is not in jeopardy.
I'll send you a video when we're done of the argument on the Congress
floor. I don't want you to send me a video. I want you to tell our viewers on the air which state.
And I'll play it on my page for anybody that wants to see it.
No, you put it on your page. That's fine. But we're on TV right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you too.
That question about which state.
I've already answered it. I've already answered it. Where's your proof that it's not happening? Where's your proof that it's not happening?
Okay, let's go to the next one. So that was the first video. Let's go to the next one. Hold on, let me go back here. Where we at? Black News Channel. What did I do? Okay. Now, the tweet after that. Now, this is my first time seeing these with you all. I haven't watched these. So it says, before Charles M. Blow brought on his guest, he spent some time to go over some major things happening in America, like the spring. I don't think we need to see that one. Okay. Okay, this is the one right here. To clear up Angela Stanton King's loaded statement, Charles Blow took out some time to set the facts straight on regular abortions and late-term abortions. To come on this show and suggest we have not done our research before having you come on the show is outrageous. Let's watch this.
Of an expected child, her life is in danger where there are late-term abortions. There are not, on a regular basis, late-term abortions that are regular abortions. That is not, it is, first of all, it's not legal. She was suggesting that in all 50 states, it is legal to have a regular abortion where the mother's life is not in danger, where we have late-term abortions. That is simply is not true. And to come onto this show and suggest that we have not done our research before having you come on the show is outrageous. We will not have that happen. We can have an intellectual conversation about abortion rights in this country. There are people who believe that abortion should not be legal because of religious reasons, because of moral reasons, and that religious reason is their reason to have. There are other people who believe, as I do, I will put my thumb on the scale in this way and say, as I do, that abortion is part of a woman's health care, because unlike what our guest was saying, you are sharing that body for that pregnancy. And for a lot of women, including Black women, it is a very dangerous thing to carry a baby to term. There are a lot of Black women who do not survive being pregnant, who do not survive.
I rebuke the curse off of our children.
Giving birth. In addition to that, people talk about, as
that's a curse.
At some point during that rumble, that we should just, people are using it as a form of birth control. We get back to using birth control in the front end. Not every woman can afford birth control. Number one. Number two, birth control is not 100% effective. People still get pregnant even when they use birth control. What we have to do is to set up a situation in America where women have choices about their own bodies. And I wanted to have that conversation with an opposing voice, but what we're not going to do, not now, not never, ever, 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 is have a guest come onto this show and think that you're going to talk over me on my show with my name on it.
Okay. Now, Mr. Blow, let's be clear, because we on my show now. And baby, you finna get this work, because first of all, when they told me your name was Charles Blow, when I saw the last name Blow, I should have known then that I was dealing with a better male. That's the first thing. Okay, let's get into that. Second thing is, sir, you have not done your research at all, and I'm getting ready to prove this to you. Second thing is, hold on, let's rebuke the curse, right, off of our children, first of all, right, to suggest, right, that it is very, very dangerous. And this is what I'm up against. This is what your sister is fighting against. For a Black male whose mother has given birth to him, who has obviously, right, forfeited his right to create life or have children. I'm just saying your last name Blow. You obviously blowing. I don't know, but I'm finna blow right now. Now, for a Black man to even suggest, right, that it is dangerous for a Black woman to carry life. First of all, Blow, we were created to carry life. It is the core of our very existence, right? The word woman comes from womb. Woman able to carry, right, give birth, right, to life. And since they're always targeting Black women, I'm also targeting Black women. So we're going to specifically say give birth to Black life. We have been giving birth since the beginning of time. Far more Black people, Black babies have been born, and Black mothers have survived giving birth to our Black children than died from giving birth to our Black children. And Mr. Blow sounds just like that tweet that I shared with you all on my last post a few stories ago that says it is safer, the tweet from Planned Parenthood on Halloween 2017, that says it is safer for a Black woman, right, to abort her child than to give birth. Excuse me, Mr. Blow, the white supremacist. Let me set you straight right quick with this curse that you are speaking against Black life, because first of all, we've been giving birth since the beginning of time. Let y'all tell it. All these Black Lives Matter advocates and scholars, y'all say we was the first ones here. We are the creators of all life. So if what you're saying happens to be statistically true, right, or factually true, because I don't know, I can only account for the time that I've been here, right? But if what you all are saying, then that means that there is no threat to us, right, to give life. And if there is a threat to us to give life, then where is it coming from? Because every other creature or species, right, on the face of this planet that gives birth is not going to a hospital or a doctor. So who's the enemy? Why is it a threat? We are the greatest, right, of all creation. We have dominion, right, over every living, breathing thing that is on this planet. All of a sudden, it is a threat for us to give life, huh? And a horse can go, oh, Lord, thank you, because I was getting ready to cuss. And a horse can go, right, drop a 50, 60, 100-pound baby, an elephant, a giraffe, a gorilla. I mean, all of these other species, right, they don't have, right, doctors or scientists controlling every aspect of their life, seem to give birth quite fine. Now, let's go on from that, right, to suggest that Black women don't have access to birth control is another lie. Huh? Ain't that what y'all advocating for? Ain't that why we got Planned Parenthood clinics in all of our communities? Let y'all tell it. Huh? Ain't this what y'all fighting for on the Congress floor? Because let y'all tell it, Planned Parenthood does more than just provide abortion. So right there, that part of your statement lets everyone know that you're telling lies. You're agent. You work for the enemy. Now, let's go to the next slide. You also stated, right? And hold up, let me back up for a minute. The only difference between Planned Parenthood and every other OBGYN clinic that we have in our communities, because trust me, before Planned Parenthood came, every community has a free health clinic of some sort, or one that accepts Medicaid, right? So you can go to these clinics in the community and get birth control. You don't have to go to Planned Parenthood to get birth control. The only difference between those clinics and Planned Parenthood is Planned Parenthood will willingly kill your baby. So there really is no need for Planned Parenthood other than to kill a baby. Now, we can also go into that a little bit more when we back up to Trump's presidency, and they were going back and forth to court. There was $60 million, and I'm going to let you go do your own research on this. There was $60 million that was going to be awarded to Planned Parenthood in federal funds. The specifications were that they could use those funds, right, to provide birth control, mammograms, all of their other programs, except perform abortion. They could not use those $60 million to fund abortion. You know what they did? Left the money on the table. Said, if we can't use these funds to abort babies, we don't want it. And then went and released the article and said, right, that Trump was denying women of their right to choose. Baby, you got a right to choose. You can choose not to get pregnant. Don't keep stressing to me the need for an abortion clinic. Don't keep stressing to me the need for Black women to kill their children. Don't keep stressing to me that we don't have any other option when we sitting up here listening to this administration talking about giving $450,000 to an illegal immigrant if they lost their child. Y'all worried about them losing their children when you're killing ours. I'm going to keep going a little bit. Then we're going to come back, right? His lie that I said it was legal in all 50 states. That's not what I said. I said the Democrats have voted. Every Democrat except one have voted to make it legal in all 50 states, right? That's what I said, okay? Where are the other options for Black women instead of telling us that we need to be afraid to give birth? Instead of giving us this narrative, right, that it is safer for us to abort our children than to give them life. Do not tell me that these people don't work for, right, white supremacists. This is the new KKK. Now, I'm going to stop talking, right, and come with the facts, because one thing about your girl, I keep all the receipts. Now, let's go to Democrat Kathy Tran. This is an Asian woman who has 5 Asian children. This woman, I'm sure, does not live in a Black community, probably never has. I'm also sure of the fact that she is aware that the majority of their abortion clinics, right, are in Black minority areas. Now, you're going to hear this argument on the Congress floor. And this is not only going to prove, right, that Mr. Blow is an agent for white supremacy, but this is also going to prove that it does not matter whether or not there is a medical condition if they perform a late-term abortion. Now, I know you're not going to believe me, but I'm going to let you hear it for yourself, because I myself couldn't believe it until I heard it. Let this roll. Because I love when they call me a liar, baby. I love when they say I don't know what I'm talking about. Democrat Kathy Tran. Go look this up.
Remove the following statutes. Trap or targeted regulations of abortion providers. Removing language classifying facilities that perform 5 or more first trimester abortions per month as hospitals. It would repeal Virginia's informed consent mandatory ultrasound and 24-hour delay. Repeal the requirement that second trimester abortions be performed in a hospital licensed by the State Department of Health. It would repeal the requirement for 2 additional physicians in cases of third trimester abortions.
Delegate Tran,
Yes, sir.
how late in a pregnancy would your bill apply if a physician was simply willing to certify that the continuation of the pregnancy would impair the mental health of the woman? How late are we talking about?
Well, so the way the suggestion that we've made in the bill is to say it's in the third trimester and at the, with the certification of the physician. So
how late in the third trimester would you be able to do that?
It's very unfortunate that our physicians, witnesses, were not able to attend today to speak specifically.
No, I'm talking. Could a physician perform an abortion if he
third trimester and at the
if a physician was simply willing to certify that the continuation of the pregnancy would impair the mental health of the woman? How late are we talking about?
Well, so the way the suggestion that we've made in the bill is to say it's in the third trimester and at the with the certification of the physician. So
how late in the third trimester would you be able to do that?
It's very unfortunate that our physicians, witnesses, were not able to attend today to speak specifically.
No, I'm talking about your bill. How late in the third trimester could a physician perform an abortion if he indicated it would impair the mental health of the woman
or physical health?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm talking about the mental health.
So, through the third trimester. The third trimester goes all the way up to 40 weeks.
Okay. But to the end of the third trimester.
Yep. I don't think we have a limit in the bill.
So, where it's obvious that a woman is about to give birth, she has physical signs of that she is about to give a birth, would that still be a point at which she could request an abortion if she was so certified? She's dilating.
Mr. Chairman, that would be a decision that the doctor, the physician, and the woman would
I understand
make
that.
at
I'm asking
point.
if your bill allows that.
My bill would allow that, yes.
I certainly could have said a week from her due date, and that would have been the same answer, correct?
That it's allowed in the bill, yes.
Yes. And in addition to what you just represented, you do acknowledge that you substantially changed the standard by removing a couple of words here, correct? Substantially and irremediably. I'm sorry, line 80. Line 80.
Now listen. First of all, that made me sick to my stomach. Second of all, let's get into this mental health thing, right? Because they want to push this narrative. And y'all, let me put up the Cash App and all of that stuff for anybody that want to support me. Because y'all know this is why they keep taking me down, right? They keep deleting my pages. They keep censoring my pages because they don't want you to get this message, right? Every time I go on a liberal or black-owned media network, they want to drown out this message because they are against us. Listen to me. This is not about a medical issue, okay? This is not about the baby is severely deformed or the mama getting ready to die. This is not what they talking about. We talking about mental health, right? And mental health can come and go, right? You can get into a spurt and have a mental health episode, right? Well, Angela, what do you mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is this right here. Let's just say you laying in the hospital, right? Hard labor. I don't know. Somebody called and say they caught your baby daddy with another bra. I don't know. All of a sudden you mad and now it's the hell with him and the baby and in a state of rage, right? Or mental health, whatever, right? You make a decision. Like regardless, like you should know before you get to the moment of dilation whether or not you want a baby. This is a whole baby. So what you all have to open up your mind and understand is this. This is bigger than Nino Brown. This is bigger than Nino Brown, because after I asked you all, and just like I was asking Mr. Blow It All on his show, what's happening to all of these babies' bodies after they aborted? Now, hold on. We're going to come back to that. Let's get into this. Not only, right, is that Democrat Kathy Tran, right, on the floor, right, arguing for their bill that every Democrat except for one voted, right? You can go down Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is one of the reasons why I keep bringing her before you all. You can go down her page and see her and see this video of her on the Congress floor fighting against this bill, right? Not only that, I want you all to go research the Born Alive Act. Guess what? You ain't got to do it. I'm going to do it for you. This is just that important. Mr. Blow It All, I want y'all to make sure y'all tag Mr. Blow It All. I want y'all to send this to Mr. Blow It All. I want y'all to go on Black News Channel and Mr. Blow It All Twitter page, and I want y'all to tag them, right, with this link to this YouTube show. This is the Born Alive Act. This was back in January of earlier this year. This was introduced, right, by a Republican, and it was asked that if a baby is born alive, right, in a failed abortion attempt, that the doctor would render aid to the baby, right, and let the baby act as its own person and save the life of the baby. This is the Born Alive Act. Every Democrat voted against it, knowing that Planned Parenthood is an admitted racist organization. You can go do your research on that, knowing that Planned Parenthood is out here intentionally killing people that they consider to be poor or worthless. In minority neighborhoods, they keep screaming Black women. You all should feel disrespected at this point. Look at this. Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act. Oh, y'all thought I was lying? Huh? Y'all thought I was lying? I want you to go research this. Go research. Go do your research. Look, findings. Congress finds the following. If an abortion results in the live birth of an infant, the infant is a legal purpose for all purposes under the laws of the United States and entitled to all protections of such laws. Listen, the doctors have an oath. The doctors have an oath. They are supposed to save life. The doctors have gone from being the savers of life to the executors of life. So a baby that they tried to listen, why would every Democrat vote against that? Why would every Democrat vote against, right, a doctor say, and listen, you can lead the baby, right? The baby will be adopted. People love babies. There are people who don't have children, right? The baby may grow up in foster care. I don't know. But to act as if that this is not murder, that we are not contributing to our own genocide is what's making me upset. Not only that, right, for Black women, right, or for networks, well, not networks, I'm gonna take it off a Black news channel and I'm gonna just put it on Mr. Blow It All, right, to act as if this is something that Black women are supposed to be proud of, marching for, fighting for, singing for, dancing for, holding up a sign for. Baby, we killing our own people. Yeah, you don't think they know that? This is bigger than sexual preference. This is the biggest form of oppression that there is. Planned Parenthood has executed more life than the KKK. I don't understand what y'all don't get. They are an admitted racist organization. Go research this. They put out articles saying, hey, we separate ourselves from Margaret Sanger. She was a known eugenist and we've moved on. We don't want anything to do with her. Okay, you don't want nothing to do with Margaret Sanger, but you are still committing the act. You're still doing what she did. You ain't got to use her name. You're still committing the act. It doesn't matter if you change the face. You're still committing the act. So if you separate your, listen, I'm gonna move on. So from Mr. Blow It All, right? Because I text production, I said, you know, I wasn't really nice with my words, you know, and I told them, I said, you know, tell Mr. Blow that he's a better, you know, female dog. I sure did. And I didn't use that term. I used something else because that's how I felt. Like, I am so sick and tired of these sassy, right? For one thing, first of all, sit down somewhere. Y'all be the same one screaming, a man don't have a right. A man don't have a choice. You know how hard it is to get Black men to stand with me in the fight for life? Oh, you can't tell a woman what to do with her body. How about that's your baby body? How about that? How about that's your son or your daughter? How about that? So we move on from Mr. Blow It All to Mrs. Melanie Russell Newman, right? She's the senior vice president for communications and culture of Planned Parenthood. Okay. They send me the email. They say, and, you know, we want to have, you know, a healthy debate. This is who you up against. I'm like, okay, cool. My team put the flyer together so we can let all y'all tune in to watch. I post the flyer. Baby, it wasn't about 30 minutes went past. We got a call and say she backed out. I know you did. I know you did. I know I'm getting ready to embarrass you and your whole organization with nothing but truth and facts. See, it's easy for them to sell that narrative, right, to those rich white men or Republicans that they be talking about, that story of suffrage and oppression. But baby, you cannot sell that story of suffrage and oppression to a woman who went to prison, who came home with absolutely nothing, still held on to her children, still raised her children, looked at her children as a blessing, not a curse. And thank God that every one of them are alive. See, my children were the motivation that kept me going, that kept me alive. They gave me every reason that I needed to live and not die, right? You cannot sell that narrative to me. Not only that, right? You're talking about putting me in a debate with someone that literally gets paid to tell Black women to abort their Black babies. Ma'am, you did the right thing. You and Nikema Williams. She also, right, was the vice president for Planned Parenthood, still is. All of these Democrats, right, are all tied together, right? Now, somebody in the comments said, your support for Marjorie Taylor Greene just proves that you're stupid. Listen, you know, for one thing, don't ever hate on my relationships that I have with members in Congress. See, all you got to do is be confident and know that when I go in, I'm advocating on behalf of economically empowering disenfranchised, inner city communities. Like, that's all you need to be worried about. Because one thing I'm not going to do, right? I'm not going to disconnect, right? Or ruin any relationships, right? That I have with people that can actually make things happen, right? On behalf of me and my people. Now, not only that, this is a white woman that is fighting against, right, one of the biggest genocides against Black Americans that has ever existed. I'm for that. This is also a white woman that is against giving illegal immigrants $450,000 per. I'm also for that, because like I've said before, if you can give, right, an illegal immigrant $450,000 for them and their child to live a decent life, right? You can also give $450,000 to a inner city Black woman, right? Or Black man for them and their children to live a successful life. Like, don't keep selling me the narrative that we got to have abortion to be successful. But if an illegal immigrant cross the border illegally, that's all they got to do. Why do I have to make a sacrifice? Why if I cross the border somewhere, I'm going to jail? Like, we're your own people. So I'm not tied up in media narratives or what this person says. See, I don't pay attention to what people say. I pay attention to what people do. And that's something my grandmother always told me. She said, you hear what people say, but you watch what they do. Because people can say, I'm all for Black America, and then go vote for Black Americans to have abortion, and then in that same tone, vote for illegal immigrants to have $450,000 for taking a chance at having a better life. Well, all of us got somebody in the chain gang right now that we know did something stupid, right? Trying to get some money or trying to figure out a way to survive. In prison right now, separated from their family. Stop playing with me. Let's move on. So Miss Melanie Russell Newman, you and Nikema Williams. Nikema probably the one that called you and told you not to debate me. Because that's why she wouldn't debate me when we ran for Congress. It was going to be a slaughter. That's who called you. You're wise. You're very wise. So listen. Let's keep moving. Jussie Smollett. Woo! Listen, y'all. Jussie Smollett. Now, I know I'm eating Starburst and you hear me smacking and all that. It's my favorite candy. I'm sorry. I didn't have time to do breakfast this morning. I wanted to get up and get right on here and get to you all. Can we talk about Jussie Smollett for a minute? This is what I want to know. Jussie Smollett. Oh, Lord, the camera done fell. Oh, Lord. Jussie Smollett, y'all. Let's get this together. All right, that's your hoe. Our boy, Jussie Smollett. Now, our boy, Jussie Smollett, in the news once again. He said, Angela, what has Jussie done? Well, we're reading reports, right, about the two Nigerian brothers. And the Nigerian brothers, allegedly, right, I wasn't in the courtroom for some reason. We got to see the live trial of the live viewing of the Kyle Rittenhouse case. I don't know why it ain't cameras in the courtroom. We missing out on some of the best comedy